What's going on, everybody? My name is Mr. Leong, and welcome back to another video in the Startup Starter Kit, back on my channel called Business Basics. Thanks for tuning in, and today we are going to look at the basics of blogging for businesses. In the past few videos in the Startup Starter Kit, I've been talking about website design, some of the aesthetics and things you should include, and blogging is a great way to develop content for your website. You can get more leads, more impressions, more visitors, and it could lead to more sales. So in this video, I'm going to talk about things you should consider when developing your blog, content ideas, and why blogging is so important for businesses. Let's get started. Alright, let's begin, and if you haven't done so already, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel for some more free business basics content and videos. If you haven't checked out my website, the link is in the description and right above over here if you want to read more about some business basics content. Now let's talk about blogging for businesses. It's a great way and an easy way to develop content for your website. You spent money on domains, time designing the websites, so you want to make sure you have as much online exposure as possible. You want traffic to your website, and adding a section in the navigation header for a blog can be a great way to drive more leads because you're targeting a specific demographic of individuals, your target market. If you write content that they like, they'll continue to visit your website, and this in turn will increase your rankings when people are looking for your business. They could be typing up a search for a bakery, and your bakery may pop up because you've written this content, and because there's already this website traffic, this will increase your visibility. So as you can see, it's an effective way to increase your online exposure at a very minimal cost. Basically, when you're blogging with your website, you're basically writing articles, spending a little bit of time, and there's very low cost to blogging. Sure, you could hire a copywriter, but if you want to write the articles yourself and save some money, blogging is a very effective way to drive reach and impressions to your website. Now, you can write about anything when you blog, and that's the cool thing about blogging, but they should have some relevance to the products or services that you sell. You're already the content expert, so it's really just about finding a medium for you to express your creativity and to show that you have some knowledge and authority about the topics related to your business. Don't believe me? The proof is in the pudding, because 55% more website visitors is what you're going to get when you start blogging on a consistent, regular basis. If you post at least 1 or 2 times a month, you can get 67% more leads to your website, and these are some research and stats that I found. You don't have to blog every single day. I think it's important to blog on a consistent basis, but quality is really important. So it really depends on how much time you have, but I'd rather focus on 1 or 2 posts a month, maybe once a week, and make those posts high quality posts. Nobody wants to read spam that you write every day and you don't put a lot of thought, effort, or even spell check into it. That's just gonna drive or not drive a lot of return traffic to your website. There are many pros when it comes to blogging as well. You can demonstrate expertise on a topic, you can increase visibility on social media, you can increase opportunities for collaboration, and it can definitely lead to more sales by generating more leads as a way to attract viewers. Now, one thing you have to remember is that when you start blogging, you may not get a lot of traction right away. Maybe you post an article you spent an hour writing and you might only get 10 views. Content marketing is a long-term strategy. So as you start blogging more and more, and when you have more articles, you're going to get more you're going to get more leads, you're going to get more reach and more impressions, but it's over time. So something to consider. So don't get disheartened if you post a couple of blog posts and you get very minimal traction. It's something that happens over time. But one thing you can do is you can increase your visibility by posting it on your social media apps. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So blogging is part of an integrated marketing solution. So you post on your website, you share it on your social media, it drives traffic both ways. This is a great way to increase your brand presence, kind of your online presence through multiple apps. You could also find ways to collaborate with similar businesses, maybe get a panel of different types of entrepreneurs, business owners, and you can have some discussions. So one thing that I've seen happen is you can do Q&As, you could do kind of like Zoom calls if you wanted to, a video blog, and then share that content on your website. But again, all of these blog posts are a great way to demonstrate expertise on a topic. Probably the best part about blogging is the fact that you get to tell stories. Storytelling through blogs is a great way to develop and foster customer relationships. You really get a sense of who you are as a brand by telling stories about how the business got started. You talk about your brand values, your core values, and you can focus on honing in on a brand personality. Here are some examples. Patagonia does this very well. They have all sorts of stories on environmental initiatives, stories about conservation, and this makes it feel like more of a human brand. So I'm going to show you what Patagonia's blog looks like, and you can see that they seem very invested in not only making profits and selling products, but they are very focused on sort of this environmental aspect of business and giving back to Mother Earth. So again, this is a great way to share who you are as a brand and tell a story of how you came to be a business. Now your blog doesn't have to be as detailed as that, but that's just an idea to get you started. You could blog about all sorts of topics, but the one thing I will mention before we proceed is that we want to make sure that we have a clear objective and a clear purpose when it comes to blogs. Because maybe you don't want to be focused on a transactional, selling your product type of blog. Maybe you just want to write about basic content that consumers may read, and you just want to drive some traffic to your website. So I think you have to be very clear about why you're writing this blog and what your intended purpose is. Because the types of content you choose to write about may have an effect, or you have to make sure that it's closely tied to your purpose. So maybe you sell a product and you write a blog post about some common questions that consumers may have, and this will kind of reduce the number of calls you get from potential customers who are having trouble with your product. So again, here are some basic ideas that you can write about, but you want to make sure that you're clear about why you are blogging. You can do video blogs, Q&As with staff to kind of showcase what you do as a business. You can do product releases, company news, some how-to advice, or maybe even some recipes and some ideas if you're doing a food-based business. Let's say that we are running a bookstore and we're doing a content marketing strategy for a bookstore. You could do some shorter form kind of videos and share on TikTok about what goes on in a bookstore, showcase some new purchases. You can do some Q&As with the bookstore staff. You could showcase some new releases, or maybe you can even write about, some books that you want to highlight. Hey, come check out this book. We just got it, and here's what it's about. Now, I'm not going to delve too much into copywriting or specific techniques about writing blogs, but here are some of the most important things to do when you start writing blog posts. 1, keep it short, concise, to the point with short paragraphs. Make it easily scannable, because I don't want to have to read a giant essay with big blocks of text. You want to make sure that it's easy to read, easily scannable. 2, keep your target market in mind when writing. Here's something I tell my students. When you're blogging, you want to write for one specific consumer. Think about your target market. Think about your average consumer in that target market and write to that individual. That way you're going to have focused, tailored content, and that group of individuals is more than likely to buy products from your business. You don't want to write for everyone, because you want to make sure that your content is tailored, targeted, because these are the people who are more likely to be interested in your business and in your content. Third, you want to make sure that your tone and voice is consistent across your blog posts. If you're writing blog posts and all of a sudden you go from humorous to more kind of a technical information styled, you're not going to drive a lot of return visits from your target market. You want to be consistent across your blogs. 4, you want to write about popular trending topics. As I mentioned, look at some keywords that are popular and write about content, and that's going to help you to drive some kind of visits to your website. And one of the most important things I can suggest is quality over quantity. Don't burn yourself out and write a blog post every single day because you may not have time. You could do a blog post a week, and that's more than sufficient in driving enough reach to your website. And again, this is a long-term strategy. So as you continue to write blog posts, you're going to see traffic go up and up and up over time. And most importantly, be consistent and post regularly. If you leave your blog for 1 month, you're going to get these visitors, they're going to go somewhere else for information. So post regularly, think about your personal capability of when you can write. Once a week is good. And be consistent. So if you post once a week, it's better than posting 4 times in a week and then nothing for 3 weeks. Here's an example of what I talk about when I think about editing for online. So let's say you are selling tea and you're talking about, some of the basics of tea and why consumers should drink tea. This is really bad. If I see this online, I'm just going to go to a different page or I'm just going to scroll and not read. By using a variety of bullet points, bolding, italicize, underlines, these types of things, lists, this greatly helps with the space, but also the readability. So as I can see over here, tips on making the perfect cup of tea, fresh water, warm the teapot, use 1 tea bag per person and 1 for the pot, rather than I'm just, not going to read this paragraph because there's just too much content and it's all smushed together. And that's basically all I have to say about blogging. So one of the most important things you should take away from this video are to write for a specific audience, think about your purpose, and don't hesitate to showcase a little bit of creativity in writing for your target audience. The whole purpose is to drive some leads, visits, and traffic to your website, but in doing so, you develop some authority and credibility for your business. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about social media apps and ways you can amplify the reach, not only to your blog, but for your business website. Thanks for tuning in to the video. I hope you enjoyed and continue to watch more videos in the Startup Starter Kit. All right, take care and goodbye.